Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, good morning, happy Tuesday. Today, Tuesday, November 8th, Tuesday of the 32nd week in Ordinary Time. Jesus' parables are not famous and well known just because of the powerful message they contain, and not just because of the beautiful images, but his parables are also very captivating because of the structure and how Jesus uh, told the stories, the structure of the story and the details that Jesus added to his stories. The parables are very, very essential in the structure and the details. There's nothing that can be removed from any of the parables, or there is no need to add anything. But very often the parables they have an open end, so to speak. Or better, we follow the parable, we follow the storyline, we follow the story, and then there is a sudden shift in the story, especially in our perspective, how to look at this particular story. Try to explain what I want to say by taking a look at today's parable. It's not really a parable, it's an image taken from daily life, something everybody could relate to. We also say it's a parable. Jesus said to the apostles, "Who among you will say to your servant, who has just come in from plowing and tending sheep in the field, come here immediately and take your place at table?" That's clear from the setting of the parable. Jesus talking to us, inviting us to put ourselves in the shoes of a master, the master of a house, someone who is wealthy probably and has servants. Who among you will say to your servant? So we put ourselves in the shoes of this master and we look at everything with the eyes of this person who has servants. So who will say to a servant, "Come here immediately and take your place at table"? Will the master not rather say to him, "Prepare something for me to eat, and you may eat and drink when I'm finished"? It's very clear. If you have servants, you will say to a servant, "Well, I just came back from a field. First of all, cook for me, and then once I'm done, you can eat. But you need to serve. You need to tend to my needs first." So I would expect the story of this parable to be a teaching about us masters, how to relate to subordinates, to other people, to our inferiors. We'll expect a moral teaching about treating other people in the right way, on being kind to others, something like that. So anyway, we'll probably are expecting a teaching towards the master, because this is what Jesus has invited us to do. He invited us to look at the story from the perspective of a wealthy person, a master of a house. But then the end of the parable, there is a shift in the perspective, because at the end, Jesus said, "So should it be with you." Okay, so should it be with you? So we're expecting Jesus to tell us something about he has been in position of authority and not abuse of authority and so forth. "When you have done all you have been commanded, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done what we were obliged to do." Now, all of a sudden, the shift in perspective. Now, Jesus is talking to us as servants, not as masters anymore. "So should it be with you." So the parable is not about we and as the master of the house, but we as servants. "We have done all that have been commanded, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done what we were obliged to do." So Jesus encourages us to look at our relationship with God, because the master is God, clearly, in the light of this master-servant relationship. Is a servant entitled to recognition, acknowledgement for what the servant has done? No, right? The servant did what he was obliged to do. So I'm saying for us, with respect to God, God doesn't have to thank us for what we have done. We were obliged to do it, to serve God. But it's an honor and a privilege to serve God, to love God and love others. So that's what we should. That's how we should look at our relation with God. We are unprofitable servants. God has called us to serve Him, to love Him, and that's our reward and recompense. But also, we need to remember that in telling this parable, as in many other parables, Jesus was first and foremost referring to Himself. as the unprofitable servant, because that's what he did. He served God the Father by doing God's will, and he didn't seek any recompense, any recognition, other than just serving God and doing his Father's will. Take care and God bless.